I'm the lead developer of Truck and Logistics Simulator. I'm a developer and game designer in Simula Games. I have been working on this project since quite a while now. So the game is Truck and Logistics Simulator. It's a simulation games which takes logistics from start to the end. By that I mean in the game there are lots of different vehicle versatility. Players usually start with a smaller vehicle like a minivan, similar to this one. Then as they proceed in their career, they can grow their logistics fleet to larger vehicles, then even larger vehicles, and there are also pickups players can drive, and then they can get to trucks. This is a rigid truck. We have licenses from Scania and MAN currently, but we are already in talk with other brands. Then there are semi trucks. All vehicles also has a realistic interior which is customizable. On the left side we can see available missions for each vehicle. That depends on the towing capacity of the vehicle. Each truck can have a different capacity. Same thing applies for the minivans, pickups, vans, everything. For example, this truck has a 6x4 version, which means it has 3 axles and it can support the heaviest cargoes. We also have an American truck. We want to extend the American. The most unique part is that all missions, almost all of the missions begin with loading your cargo yourself. So this is a telescopic handler. It's a vehicle which can load containers. It's of course based on what attachment it has. It can load containers, ISO tanks, and everything. Our aim is right now to load this trailer on the right side with this gas tank. Then I can drive to get my trailer, which will begin the mission with the transport. We also have cars in the game, which can be used for convoy escorting or for also even for transporting cargo. The game is completely open world, which means there are many places to explore. So it's a 28 kilometer square map, which I can also show quickly using the fly camera we have. Players can drive around everywhere. Like we have, for example, an off-road route here, which isn't very polished, but it's really fun in multiplayer. We make sometimes events where players try to drive here together to climb to the top of the hill. And we also have collectible system in the game. It's linked to the achievement system, which players can collect to unlock the achievements and earn a small amount of money, which gets higher each time you find the golden pallets. It's what we call them. And there are 50 of them in the map, which is also a motivation for players to explore the map. Aim of this vehicle is to escort multiplayer convoys. How multiplayer convoys work is the game has an automatic invite mechanism, which means, for example, another player, which I hope Michael from our team is gonna spawn to my location now. He can get a mission from this logistics area and it automatically invites everyone around. And if he takes a mission from this logistics area, it's gonna show up as a pop-up in my screen, and it will ask me if I would like to join this convoy. Then it shows me where it starts, where it's going to, and it enables me to select a mission, either with this vehicle, with another vehicle. And what's important is, because this is a mission invite, it's always same start, same destination. I can also join with another vehicle. For example, I can use a truck, I can use a rigid truck even, or I can use a pickup or panel van. But I want to right now show the Convoy Escort equipment, so I will pick the Convoy Escort mission. So multiplayer, by the way, supports up to 24 players currently, which is per game of course, and we are also gonna try to increase that. But we had many convoys which we organize in our Discord server. Thanks for joining us. So our aim as a convoy escort vehicle is, for example, this heavy cargo is gonna make a left turn here. So I can block the traffic. Actually, I have traffic disabled right now, but I can, for example, place my vehicle like this, which will allow that heavy cargo vehicle to take the corner easily. And in our convoy events, or even in random online servers, we can see that players automatically can form convoys, because when they see another person driving through the map, they usually decide to follow them and join their next mission. And because the game automatically invites you to join that mission, then everyone goes from somewhere to another place, changing missions, getting different vehicles. In our convoy events, of course I have a bit more control here, which I'm not gonna explain too much, but our admins and moderators can also increase the room size if there are more players than our standard room size. Then we can have convoys with up to 30 players, which are very long if everyone is picking a truck. And it would mean if you are at the tail of the convoy, you cannot see the front anymore. Or if you are at the front, you cannot see the backside anymore. For example, we are gonna pick a left turn here. I can place myself to this slot to block the traffic. Then convoy makes the turn. We wait until every player make the turn, and by blocking the traffic, we make sure convoy doesn't get separated. It doesn't slow down, and etc. Usually, we have convoy escort vehicles at the start of the convoy, which players usually use sport cars for that, because they need to be fast to block the next intersection. Of course, these convoy escort missions are just one part of the game. It's totally possible to make multiplayer convoys where there is just one escort vehicle and 20 trucks which drive together to the destination, which is something we usually do on our Discord events. So we usually have one event manager which usually drives at the front, and we usually have two event supporters, as we call it, who just join to make sure no one is trolling in the convoy, everyone is driving cleanly, because otherwise a 30-player convoy can get quite messy if someone doesn't drive properly, doesn't obey the rules, and then I can chase the convoy again. So this is how multiplayer works, and you can imagine definitely rain is gonna be included in a free update this year, but we aren't yet certain how much time it will take. But yes, rain will also it will cause puddles on the asphalt on the roads, which will make the car, the physics, the traction of the tires, it will definitely react to the rain effect. There's some extra detail here, which is a speed control radar. So these are stationed in some places in the map. You can get fined if you don't obey the traffic rules. And there are also a unique feature we have, which is there are random police controls. There are police vans, which are actually radars, police radars that are stationed randomly around the map. Oh yeah, I found one. So this is a police van. I guess this is a 50 zone, so let's make it night so it's more dramatic. And you can see there is a radar sign beside us. So when you see that sign, you should usually decide to slow down. And there is a hidden police car here. So we are caught, and it says speed violation, 100 money, and it says 76 in a 50 zone. The randomness makes it very interesting, because each time a police van can arrive somewhere else, which means you cannot usually memorize the police vans. Even if you play too much, it can be a surprise for the player. There are of course radars on the autobahn as well, which are gantry type, which is a different type, and there are also those small towers as well.
They ask whether or when there will be a Android version releasing, and how big of a file size you might anticipate it to be.
Yeah, sure. So Android version is actually in our plans, but we were also planning to release it much earlier than what we were right now planning to. So Android version is in development. The problem is we improved the game a lot to make it look better in current gen consoles. The game right now runs on last gen consoles as well, but we aren't yet confident enough with the performance. It means we need to work with performance a bit more, and right now we have a very full schedule of updates for the console version, which we need to for example, PlayStation 5 can, if player enables both mirrors in the UI, it can drop below 60 FPS, which isn't ideal. Or in the convoy events, for example, when there are 30 vehicles in front of you, it right now slows down the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, which also isn't ideal. And we also plan to finish DLC first. We have to finish Nintendo Switch update first. Afterwards, I mean, we are getting there with optimization to the mobile level, but we don't have an exact date when it's gonna be finished. It should be this year. We are talking to Volvo currently, and we are talking to DAF Trucks. The DAF Trucks also have a parent company. So it also includes Convoy and other brands in the same umbrella, I can say. And we are more confident about DAF currently. It could work, and if it works, it will very likely be a DLC in future, which will include licensed tracks. Yeah.
If there are any plans for making a photo/video mode in the game.
Yes. So it's already, we have something for it, which is hiding the UI, which you can see. You can also hide the player names, which makes it completely cinematic. And in the interior, there is already, you can hide the minimap, but right now hiding the UI isn't an option. We definitely want to add that. We'll probably add a button somewhere to enable photo mode, and by enabling that, it will probably hide the UI. We also have lots of developer tools available, like adding a depth of field to the screenshots or change the lighting, which is already available to player. Yeah, it's definitely something in our list, but I cannot promise when we are gonna be able to do that. We also talked about racing. It will be just a fun addition to the game, which only works in multiplayer. There won't be an AI, and it wouldn't be like any other racing games. It will just be a simple bonus mission. We are gonna allow the players using the existing systems. So we already have a navigation system, you can see. And if player gets a race car, they are gonna be able to see the, for example, right now on the bottom left on my screen, you can see logistics center, construction site, car and caravan transport. So they are color-coded mission areas. And when you are a racing car, you can also see the racing beginning points, so they aren't normal missions. Racing cars, I mean, we call it supercar. So this car is actually it's part of a mission, which is a car transport mission. We call it enclosed car transporter, which also exists in real life to transport such heavy cargo. And it will, this is a screenshot which is almost perhaps 70% complete, I can say. And this car accompanies this trailer. So because the trailers usually is only used to transport very expensive cars, because you want to protect them from the elements of the weather and stuff. By the way, this is the gantry type radar in the game while I see it. And I also wish to show you the car transporter. Yeah, this is the car transporter. For example, this wouldn't be used to transport supercars, because then there can be something wrong and the car can be damaged in transport. And these enclosed car transporters are, that's why these trailers exist, and we decided to make a DLC of this trailer because our 3D artist researched, and basically we said, what's the coolest trailer in the world? And we decided it's this one because it has chrome. As I said, this is not final, so the reflections aren't perfect, but it has chrome details, it has many lights, it also looks very cool at night. So this is how it looks. It's still in development, so you load the actually you will firstly load the top part, the upper deck of this elevator mechanism, then you lift the car up and you load the bottom side as well with this car. It also works similar in the other mission.
Will you be able to add a police chase system in the game?
So police chase, it wouldn't be done with the AI, because creating such AI is a very complicated process. I mean, a police chase like in GTA, it's not something we are planning to spend time on. Instead, we will definitely spend time on more on the logistics side of things. Because the game is cross-platform, by the way, if I didn't mention that, the game is cross-platform, and right now perhaps half the players are from PlayStation 5, perhaps 10 of them are from Xbox, 10 of them are from Steam, and it will also support Nintendo Switch after they receive the update. It means if we update the game and add a new vehicle, that will break the crossplay. So we need to release the updates synchronously, which means we cannot release it on Steam first, PlayStation 5 later, but we usually pick up a date, finish it by then, and then we can release at that exact date to all platforms together. But Steam would have a faster hotfix because it requires less testing on our side, but it doesn't mean so all the big updates are gonna be released at the same time. So yeah, we have a plan to improve on the role-playing side, like your driver progress. Players begin with a driver, of course. Right now they just progress through the game with purchasing heavier and heavier vehicles. In future we plan to have a RPG like driver progression system, which is gonna include driving licenses. For example, you finish missions, you gain experience, you can use it to level up, and leveling up you will be able to choose licenses. For example, this vehicle is going to require a license, or other vehicles as well, and cargoes above 8 tons is gonna require a license. It's just a number I made. With such progression, players are also going to be able to choose which side they are planning to progress on. For example, they can either choose this vehicle to get the license first, or they can choose to get a license for a wheel loader instead. So they are gonna be available at the same level. Then it will be kind of tree-like structure of RPG progression. And when they begin, they will also not be able to drive this truck. And this is one of the late truck models, which has 3 axles. 3 axles means it can carry more cargoes because it has more weight capacity. They will first start with minivans like this one and car license. Then they will upgrade to be able to drive a pickup, and after a while they are gonna unlock the license for these vehicles. Then either a rigid truck or a light truck like this one or this one or this one, and then the latest they are gonna be able to unlock 6x4 or 6x2 trucks, which will unlock all the missions. And for example, we also plan to have dangerous cargoes behind the license as well, like the gas tank mission. You can see the loaders here. For example, there's the skid steer loader, which I never actually shown. That's also some mission which is an optional, so you can either choose this one or, for example, the heavier forklift mission. That's how the driver's career will progress. And with this system we also wish to include that company side, like choosing a logo for your company, which you will be able to add a decal to your trailers and trucks. We also have in evaluation plans about company management, in which we could hire drivers, assign them vehicles, then they would also do missions on their own, and they would also have trades, they would have levels. Some has less licenses but has lower wage and players can decide to assign vehicles to correct drivers, and they would also earn you more revenue, allowing to extend your garage, and larger garages will support even more drivers. We have a system like that in design, I can say, but it's a very big feature and we are not even sure yet if it's feasible or if we will do it in future. It depends on how successful the game is, how it keeps getting popular, if it keeps the popularity it has currently, I can say.
I've got another one from Phantom mentioning the DLC there as well. Is there an idea on price, or will there be packs?
So the pricing, we didn't yet decide on that. For example, the first DLC, it's gonna be including this car, this trailer, a new mission, with lots of animation inside the vehicle, and it's very hard to model. And we are also gonna have a trailer like this, which isn't not going to be used for supercars only, but it's gonna be able to use for other vehicles as well. So lighter vehicles can tow that, for example a pickup, or there are also SUVs, for example. Such vehicles would be able to tow that. So this DLC already includes like supercar trailer, another small trailer, new missions. So it will depend on how much content the DLC has. For example, we are also planning a flatbed DLC, which would have lots of mission versatility. It could carry generators like that, it could carry plywood, and it would have these drop side doors which can fold down to be allowed loading it with a forklift. Or we have a DLC which we plan in future, also this year, which we are gonna add these grapple attachments to existing vehicles to load wooden logs to trailers. One of the trailer is something like this. It's modeled, it's a bit modeled larger than what we expected, so a pickup is gonna tow that, so it's gonna get a bit smaller. And we have this trailer also in development, so this doesn't yet have a bottom part, but the cargo will look better than that, so it's also in development. This is a DLC, and skip trucks will be a DLC. So this is actually a simpler DLC which will have so you can see this vehicle, you can see I'm loading this trailer. That skip trucks bucket, or I don't know, the yellow part I will call that a bucket for now. It will stay on the ground. You are gonna load it with this skid steer loader, and then you are going to pick that up. After it's loaded, you are gonna pick that up with this mechanism on the skip track, and it will all depend on the content of the mission. So it can there can be €3 for a DLC, there can be €10 for a DLC. A licensed truck DLC can be higher if it includes 4 trucks in one DLC, for example. It all depends on the content. So
If or in the recovery if the recovery vehicle is added, could it potentially carry fuel for players who may run out on their journey?
yes, it's already in our list. So recovery vehicle. We also have this gas tank trailer in development. You can see it doesn't have the wheels or stuff yet, but the tank is almost complete. We also have this command trailer in development, and we also plan to do it with the gas tank trailer. So it's not entirely very realistic, but it will be fun option to if there is imagine a large convoy of 30 people and there is a player with a gas tank there, and other vehicles could stop by that and ask for a refuel. Such stuff in multiplayer I find very cool, very cool ideas. Same for the recovery vehicle. It could carry a limited amount of fuel, perhaps. That's a very nice idea. And if we ever add that recovery vehicle, this truck, for example, it's a recovery truck. It has a crane on the back. It can tow the vehicles which fell down, are stuck, or etc. And perhaps in real life they do also carry fuel. I'm not aware of that. If they do, yeah, it can carry perhaps 100 liters or 200 liters of fuel to refuel if someone is out of fuel. Yeah, that's a very nice cooperative aspect we can add to the game.